Why posting and praying won't attract A-player candidates in 2025. I need you to be absolutely honest with me for just a second. How many times have you posted a job on LinkedIn, hit publish, and then just waited? Just refreshing your inbox every hour, waiting and hoping that somebody's gonna pop up. You're checking to see if any decent resumes have come through, telling yourself the right person will see it eventually. Look, if that's your hiring strategy in 2025, you are getting absolutely destroyed. Here's the brutal truth. And here's what nobody wants to admit. While you're sitting there waiting for applications, that A-player that you desperately need is really getting personalized messages from companies like me who actually get it. They didn't apply to those jobs. Hell, they didn't even want a job. They weren't even looking for a job. But think about this for a second. Put yourself in the shoes of the candidate. You get a generic job post versus a message that speaks directly to you or your specific achievements and your aspirations. Now, which one makes you stop scrolling? Which one makes you pick up the phone and call or return the call of that hiring company? Look, your post is getting buried under 50,000 other job ads that went live just today on LinkedIn. That's right. Every single day, over 50,000 jobs go live. So while your competition is sliding into DMs with offers so specific and so targeted, the top performers can't help but actually listen. So here's the truth. I've placed over 10,000 candidates throughout my career. And the game changers, the A players, the ones who really transform companies, they almost never come through a traditional job board application. Never. Look, as a professional recruiter who's built my company from the ground up, I've invested millions of dollars into the hiring strategies over the last decade. Millions. Testing every single platform, every approach, every protocol, every tool that promised to deliver talent. My strategies are not theories. They are stress tested across thousands of placements. And here is what's crystal clear. The hiring landscape in 2025 is completely different than anything we've ever seen, and even just a few months to even a year ago. What worked before is now obsolete. The companies who are still using yesterday's playbook, they are bleeding talent while wondering why nothing works anymore. Today, I'm going to reveal the exact 4-step system that lets us deliver A-play candidates to our clients in less than 21 days, guaranteed. This isn't about what used to work. This is exactly what's working right now. So I'm here to tell you that post and pray is officially dead. Now, you have a number of problems behind this method. First off, problem number 1. You have way too much noise. You're not getting enough attention to your opportunity. So let's break down the numbers for a second. LinkedIn has over 67 million companies posting jobs globally, and the average user globally spends about 17 minutes per week on the platform. So that means your job opportunity is competing against 67 million other companies and 50,000 new job posts every single day. Do you think your competitive salary and your great culture really stands out? It doesn't. Now here's the reality. A players aren't scrolling job boards. They're working, they're building, they're already employed and performing at a high level somewhere else. The only time they consider switching jobs is if somebody presents them an opportunity that really directly aligns with their specific goals. A generic job post just won't cut it. You really need to speak directly to what they care about, and you just can't do that with a one-size-fits-all job ad. Here's problem number 2. The algorithm is actually working against you. Here's something most people just don't understand. You spend hours writing the perfect job description, you add keywords, you optimize for your search, you think the algorithm will help you find the best talent. But the algorithm doesn't care about finding you quality candidates. It cares about engagement metrics. And those entry-level jobs with 500 plus candidates, the algorithm loves those. But your senior engineering role that requires 10 years of specialized experience, the algorithm literally shows this to fewer people because it knows they won't qualify or engage with the post. Meanwhile, recruiters or hiring managers who understand the system are paying to bypass the algorithm completely. They're using tools like Sales Navigator, direct emails, and targeted outreach strategies. So you're hoping that the system works for you, and they're working around the system and they're winning. Here is problem number 3. The trust is gone. And here's a really uncomfortable truth. A players just don't trust job posts anymore. Every company claims to have great culture. Every startup says that they're changing the world. Every role promises growth opportunities. They've heard it all before. Do you know how A players really evaluate opportunities? They ask their network, they text their former colleagues, they check Glassdoor, Reddit, or private groups. And by the time they see your job post, they've already formed an opinion about your company and they've already made their decision. If someone that they trust says that you're difficult to work for, they're gone. So your job description doesn't even matter if your reputation isn't solid, and you can't fix your reputation problems with just better copywriting. So here's problem number 4. You're just too slow. This one's painful because it's pretty difficult to overcome and it's also very obvious. You post on a Monday. By Wednesday, you've had, let's say, a couple hundred applicants if you're lucky. Thursday, you start reviewing those resumes and you're digging through, and then by Friday, you've got a nice little short list of candidates. Next Monday, you begin reaching out. Here's a problem. You've already lost. So while you were in the process of collecting applications, the A player that you really wanted has already received direct offers from other companies who knew exactly what they wanted and who they wanted. and reached out immediately. They didn't wait for applications, they identified their targets and they moved fast. So here's what most people just don't know. Top performers statistically make their career decisions within 10 days of starting their search. 10 days. So your 2-week application process, you've missed the entire window of opportunity to capture that A player. Now here's what really frustrates me the most. Companies will lose 100, 150,000 on average on a bad hire between salary, training, lost productivity, and then post the exact same job ad expecting a different result. Now, to me, that's not a strategy. That's just hoping things will magically improve. Look, I don't want to make you feel bad, but someone needs to tell you the truth here. The hiring game has completely changed. And if you're still using 2019 strategies in 2025, you're just going to be losing every single time. So let's work through the framework that actually will get you A-player candidates. I'm going to give you a breakdown of the 4-step system. And we use this system every single day to deliver A-player candidates in 21 days on average or less. So here's step 1. First, you want to build your targeted list. Stop looking for people who want a job and start identifying people who are perfect for the job. We build a list of 50 dream candidates before we do any research. We use tools like LinkedIn, SalesNav, GitHub, and industry publications, conference, anywhere that you might find your ideal candidate. Now, here's step 2. You want to write messages that get responses. Forget about those generic templates. They just don't work. Our messages are short. Now, typically 60 to 70 words maximum, and they have to include the following: something special that the candidate has accomplished in their career, or something that has caught our attention, perhaps the exact problem that we need them to solve, and what success looks like in concrete terms, and a specific time to talk. Now, our response rates are typically 60+% because it's about them and their goals, not about us. Here's step number 3. You have to move fast. Now, first contact to offer letter, we're aiming for 10 days. Not because we're desperate, because great people just have options and they're waiting. So if you wait, you lose. So here's how we do things. Our interview process is typically about 3 conversations. We do a skills verification, that's about 30 minutes. We do a cultural alignment, which is about 40 to 45 minutes. And then we do an offer presentation. That's another 30 to 40 minutes, just depending. We don't do 5-round marathons. No, we'll think about it or we'll let you know. We have clear actions, insights, and fast decisions. We know what we're looking for and we move fast to get them. Here's step 4. And here's what separates the pros from the amateurs. We're actually recruiting even when we don't need to be recruiting. Every week, we connect with at least 5 potential future hires. No job to sell, just relationships. And when a role opens, we already have a pre-screened list of qualified people who know and trust us. And so your competition is posting jobs and we're making offers. Now, I know what you're thinking right now. Jared, I don't have time for all this. And to be honest, if you're trying to hire A players, you don't have the time not to do this. So every day that you waste on posting and praying, your competition is going to be building relationships with the best talent in your industry. Every time you post a generic job ad, you're telling the market that you don't quite understand how hiring really works. Now, here's what I'm seeing. The companies who are winning in 2025 aren't the ones with the biggest budgets or the coolest toys or the coolest products. They're the ones who stopped treating recruiting like a lottery and started treating it like a mission, because recruitment is the most important thing that you can do as a leader. Now, everything I showed you is just about 20-25% of our full system. Now, if you want the complete blueprint, the actual message templates, the scoring workflows, the sourcing protocols, the interview scorecards, everything that we get to determine 90+% accuracy to implement within your system in your organization, just book a free strategy call using the link below in the description. And we'll get on a call and we'll map out custom A-player acquisition system based on your exact roles, your budget, and your timeline. No generic BS, just what works for you and for your situation. So my message for you, I'll leave you with this: stop posting and praying and start hunting. Thanks.